Here is something most people never stop to question. Why does working harder not always change life? Every day starts the same for most people. Not because life is bad, but because it is repetitive. We call it routine, but it feels more like a loop. Hours begin to disappear inside tasks, and time starts feeling heavier. At the end of it all, a number appears, but it doesn't stay for long, and tomorrow it starts again. But somewhere else, another version of life exists. It doesn't look louder or busier, but it moves differently. One path is built on time, the other is built on structure. And structure behaves differently than effort. At first, it's not even visible, but once it starts, it spreads quietly. Not through effort, but through design. And that's where everything begins to feel different. Most people think they are moving forward, but they are actually repeating the same pattern in a slightly different form. Days don't feel like progress anymore. They feel like repetition. But somewhere else, time is being used differently. For some people, money arrives only when time is given. But for others, effort doesn't disappear after it's used once. It keeps repeating the result without repeating the effort. At first, this idea doesn't make sense because we are trained to believe effort is everything. One person teaches, one person at a time. Another teaches once and reaches thousands, and suddenly geography no longer matters. So some people work more, trying to close the gap, but effort alone doesn't change structure. Meanwhile, systems don't get tired, and slowly something becomes visible. It was never about how much we work, it was about what our work becomes after we finish it. Some things stop when we stop working, others don't. And that difference changes everything. At this point, it starts to look like some people are doing less work, but appearances can be misleading, because what we see today is not today's effort. What we see today is yesterday's effort still producing results, and that's a completely different game. These people are still making a trade, time for money. These people are making a different trade, effort for leverage. Both paths require effort, but they behave differently over time, and time is where the difference becomes visible. In the beginning, the difference is small, almost invisible. A few years later, it becomes harder to ignore, and eventually, the gap starts creating its own momentum. This is where most people ask the wrong question. They ask, how is he making so much money? But the better question is, what is still working for him? Because wealth often grows through systems, not moments. One decision, one asset, one process repeated thousands of times, and suddenly everything begins to make sense. This was never a story about working hard versus not working hard. It was a story about what happens to our effort after we spend it. So maybe the real question isn't, how can we work more? Maybe it's, what can we build today that will still be working tomorrow?